Hi everybody, I'm Kirsty Meakin and welcome to the Nao Nails channel. In this video we're going to do tortoiseshell nails. Oh my god, so excited. It's all the rage at the minute. Love their tortoiseshell. So Andrea's nails are already prepped and ready to go because we've done a soak off. Sculpting these today, so we're gonna get this on. What shape? Oh, I think stiletto.
Okay.
I do, you know.
Yeah.
I just, something about, I did a stiletto yesterday.
Yeah,
when I was
stiletto.
teaching.
I've had stiletto for a while.
And I just thought, oh, and we can always take them down to ballerina when they get a bit long for you
Yeah.
as well, when you've had them filled.
Yeah.
Yes, defo. I think that's always a good idea. If you've got a client that likes to change their shape a lot, think about what you're doing and see how you can change it up. So I'm going to check we're straight before I close this form. And I want you to hold your hand like that for me if you can. Brilliant. Awesome. Yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good.
Oh.
Let us tell you about this.
Yes.
You know Faye, the longest nails in the West.
We had a nail off, didn't we?
Midlands, West Midlands.
Yeah, they had a bit of a nail off. When I was
We
at
were
Andrea's shop,
FaceTiming, yes.
she FaceTimed us. And she could see Andrea's nails sort of while we were talking. She was like, hold on a minute. Are her nails longer than mine? And I was like, no, they're not longer than yours. They are. It's showing me. She was like, having a look at the nails, and we were looking at her nails, looking at it. She was like, they're longer than mine. I was like, they're not longer than yours, for God's sake. So I think I'm going to go to 3.5, just so I know that they're shorter than things.
I was going to say, so we don't upset Faye.
We don't want to upset the driver.
It's not that we
We're
don't want
very-
to upset her, we just can't be with the earache. That
We're
it brings
scared.
along.
We're scared of her. She's a bit of a bully.
She's a bit of a bully.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite funny. So we're going to dehydrate, and then we're going to use the Ultra Bond primer. Oh, bit of fluff, we don't want that. Andrea works best with the Ultra Bond primer. Ultra Bond. And then we're going to use natural beige, because I love it. I know I've got issues, I just love it. It's my favourite. I just love working with it. I love the colour, it suits so many people. And I know they keep selling out of it, don't they? Now I do. And I think they want me to use all the others, but I just really like this one. So, sorry. So I'm going to use medium speed liquid. It's going to give me enough time to play with, but it's going to set up at a decent rate. So I'm going to pop my bead down, and I'm going to make contact with the nail, working at this lateral length first. So we've made contact, we keep the edges nice and straight and neat, and we pat and press and pull all the P's, pat, press and pull. Product to the end. And second bead, pop that on. I'm tucking in the sides. Get it nice and close to the cuticle without flooding. Now I can bring the finger up, I don't want it to move down. I'm just going to make sure I'm tucking those sides. I'm just going to pull a little bit back because I want to make sure my apex is nice. So I'm being quite gentle, sweeping. Remembering that I have done this bead first because it's further away from the heat of the finger. I want everything to set up a similar rate. So by doing that first, that'll help. Because obviously a second bead is sat on the finger and will set up quicker because of the heat of the finger. So in theory, it should set up at a very similar rate now. So I'm going to pinch that now because I've pinched with my fingers. It's not sticking to my gloves and it's not like disturbing it too much. I can press it and it's not like squishing it everywhere. So I'll put the tool on and then I go back and check. Is it collapsing? No, it isn't. So we can just put that on and let it do the little pinchy business. Now I'm just pinching the length with my fingers because obviously the pinching tool doesn't touch that area. So you'll need to then come in with your fingers and just give that a little bit of a pinch. Right, I'm going to take off the sculpting foam now. I've got a 120 grit file. I'm going to go underneath. Look how underneath I actually am. I'm not like this. I'm right underneath. Just getting those sides nice and straight. I'm not doing this. Not doing any rocking business. Nice and straight. And I'm going to use an E-file that around there because I know that under your skin will just disintegrate into nothing. Got to have a dream. Are you gonna have a dream come true? So whipping around the cuticle. This is a little bit safer, believe it or not, than a hand file because I can be really precise. It's a small implement. Got all the big words I have. Don't know what they mean, but use them in the wrong place. Yeah, it's a smaller tool, so I can just be a little bit more precise around there, and I'm not going to touch Andrea's skin. And then I'm going to pull it down the length. So now I'm going to come very flat and straight up those sides. Same on this side. And then I'm going to marry them together. I'm going to buff this now. I'm not going to buff it too smooth, just whipping over because I know I'm going to put gel polish on top and I want that to attach. Give you a dust. It's only dusting Adrian. Gotta clean it. And then I'm going to wipe over with gel residue wipe off solution. I've got this out just in case. So we have Moroccan Tan, Butterscotch, Serious Black, Leo, Pepino Dolce. And then we've got Mimosa. Gonna use Moroccan Tan, the long nail. So I am going to do this part first. I'm going to reload. So I've got a nice amount of product on the brush to do my cuticle area. Fan the brush and drag down. Could you pop me that in the lamp, please? If you've been so kind. First, I'm going to use Leo. Leo has a little bit of sparkle in as well. Oops, look at that. And I actually need to go for a Serious Black out as well. I do like tortoiseshell. Now, is tortoiseshell actually tortoiseshells?
What do you mean?
Is it actually tortoiseshell?
No, I'd have tortoiseshell.
I don't quite understand what you mean. Is
I
tortoiseshell?
don't think you could. I don't think a tortoiseshell looks like the tortoiseshell pattern.
Oh, right.
How do they make tortoiseshell?
What do you mean? How do they make tortoiseshell? What are you doing to me here?
Just put tortoiseshell glasses.
Tortoise make it.
I'm so confused.
And then I'm just going to put some of this colour onto the blooming gel, and you're going to sort of squish it around just to make an uneven pattern. Yeah, because if you look at a tortoiseshell, it's not an uneven pattern. Is it slices of tortoiseshell maybe? I'm intrigued of how they actually get the tortoiseshell and make it look like it looks. I think somebody can comment below and tell us exactly
I think they should.
everything that we're thinking. And you want to let the product bloom. So you can see how you're getting those soft edges. Right, so we've let that bloom. We're going to pop that in the lamp. And we're going to go in with blooming gel again. And then we're going to use the black again, just sort of work it around so it's darker in the centre. And then let that bloom. Pop that in the lamp. Right, what I'm going to do now, I've got some base coat. I'm going to put some of that colour in, which is Leo. I'm going to get a little bit of this Miso, whatever it's called.
Mimosa.
I'm going to put some of that in, and a little bit of black. And I'm going to pull through into a little bit more Mimosa and a little bit more base. So we're going for a transparent colour. I still want a tiny bit more. Oh look, what the hell. Like waste not want that. Right, so I've mixed my colour. And this is the Urban Graffiti brush that I'm using. We're going to use that to apply this colour over the entire nail. And it just changes up the colour a little bit and gives it a little bit of depth. You don't need to do this smoothly. You want to have these little sort of patches to make it uneven in colour. So can you see how I've sort of mottled it a little bit? Pop me that in the lamp. So now we're going to top coat to seal. Put me that on the lamp. I'm going to put a little bit of bling on, a little bit of metal work. Love, 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 love a bit of gold with this nail. Will just look stupendous, darling. Some aqua gel. Not a lot. So I'm just going to place that where I'm going to put the bits of metal. Now, if I was doing this just for a photo shoot and not sort of making it wearable, I'd love to put some metalwork here. But if you do that, it's just not going to be wearable at all. Andrea would knock that off, especially being that index finger. So when you're placing any kind of stones, you need to make sure you're putting them where is nice and easy, wearable, gonna last. So we've got the aqua gel on. Now we're going to top coat over the top. We haven't cured that aqua gel. I like this tortoiseshell because it's got a little bit of shimmer through it as well. So it's not just like, it makes it more of like a glamorous tortoiseshell.
Sexy tortoiseshell.
Yeah, sexy one.
Girl tortoise then.
Oh, definitely. Died of natural causes. No tortoises were hurt in the making of this video. There you are, you pop me that in the lamp. Let's finish with a bit of cuticle oil. Gonna use vanilla for each day. So that's that one done. We're going to crack on and do the others, and you'll see some examples of how we can use this pattern to do a French design with it and everything like that. There you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and all the products I've used today will be listed below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.